What do women want? I just can't figure it out. And it seems like a lot of guys can't figure it out either. Maybe it's because women are all different and we all want different things. It's probably it. I can think of a few things that I want, though, that I enjoy, that make me happy. In fact, I think they make you happy too. But today we're talking about the movie What Women Want, which was released in 2000, and it stars Mel Gibson as this super chauvinistic, super manly man who gets the women that he wants and thinks they kind of just all love him and fawn over him, and he's not used to being rejected by women. He's just that total guy's guy, super handsome. He works for an advertising company, and previously this advertising company was a lot about TNA and selling that side of the product. So they're trying to change a little bit. They're trying to move into the mainstream, trying to sell to women, and the TNA just doesn't sell to women. So his boss has hired someone new, a strong female named Darcy, and she wants all the guys to take home a box full of feminine style products. So wax strips and control top pantyhose and a bra and lipstick. There's just a whole little goodie bag of stuff that he's supposed to bring home and test it all out. Now, as a man, he's just like, this is all so silly, and he has a few drinks, a bottle of wine, and he decides to just try on all the products. Now, another thing that's fun about this movie and his character is that he's actually got a daughter, and his daughter is staying with him for a little while, even though they don't have a very good relationship. Because again, being a super guy's guy and not understanding women at all doesn't really bode well with a teenage girl. So he is dressed up in all this stuff and ends up getting electrocuted this night. And he wakes up being able to hear women's thoughts. The first person that he hears is his maid, and he thinks it's her talking at first, and she's kind of complaining about him and making little snide comments and about how whiny he is, and he just thinks that she's giving him a hard time, but she's not actually saying anything. And then the next woman he comes across is the door lady at his apartment complex, and she is so into him. This lady is so funny. She's like, sexy. This lady is super funny. Of course, she's not saying anything out loud. And he is just totally confused by all this. He goes to walk through the park, and he even hears a French poodle talking, and she's like, Monsieur, I need to poop. This is a very funny movie, and it is a rom-com, I must say. It's a little bit of romance, but it's mostly comedy, and it's Mel Gibson in his prime, so it's a good movie. What we're hearing is that women are just thinking a lot. They're worrying a lot. They're overthinking a lot. They're self-critical. There's just a lot going on in the female brain, and he's kind of overwhelmed by it. Now, his friend is kind of like, this is a gift. You should be using it to, score women, to do better in that sort of way. And he goes to see a psychologist who is Bette Midler. She does a great job in every movie. She's so funny. And she tells him, imagine the gift that you've been giving to know what women want. You're like a god. So he decides to embrace it. And he decides to embrace it mostly with his boss, Darcy, his new boss, which obviously having a new boss when he thought he was going to get the promotion, being a woman and trying to change the whole company, at first he's kind of wanting to take her down. He's listening to her thoughts. He's taking her ideas and making it seem like it's his own. And so he's getting credit for a lot of this work that she sort of came up with because he just took it from her brain, basically. But what's happening is a little bit of romance between those two. You can tell that she has a crush on him and he has a crush on her. And obviously, eventually, he starts to feel bad about taking her ideas. But by that time, it's too late because his boss, above her, obviously, has realized that, well, this guy, Nick, has been coming up with all these great ideas and we don't need Darcy. So they decide to fire her. And at this time, he's already in love with her. So that's the whole romance part of the thing. But while all this part is happening and before we get to the conclusion where they kiss and fall in love and Darcy fires him, she's like, oh, I got my job back. Well, then you're fired. Anyways, he's also been kind of a sounding board for women's issues. And instead of the women thinking that he's a total schmuck because he's got all these chauvinistic jokes that he tells them, and the women are just like, ugh. And when he finally realizes what a schmuck he is and how women actually think about him, he becomes kind of a woman's friend because he can think about their feelings and he knows the male's perspective. So he's giving all these women advice and kind of becoming the office hero a little bit, and he improves his relationship with his daughter, and he's able to obviously learn how women think too much about things they can't control. So he helps them kind of process those thoughts and feelings and emotions, which is a great character for a man to have because men do know this male perspective. And if you can help a woman work through all the emotional feelings that she has, then you're being a provider, and that's what women really want. It's not just about money, it's about providing stability and calmness. Being their rock is super important to what women actually want, and across the board, women need a man who will support them, who, when we are dealing with our emotional times, they will be our rock and our stable person that will just calm us down. So that's kind of what he became, and he learned all these great lessons, and it was hilarious along the way. So I hope you enjoyed this Movie Chat Monday. I hope you enjoyed the view of the movie, of course. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.